A day of chaos tragedy strikes above the Potomac, leaving the city in shock and disbelief. It was a day like any other in the nation's capital, with people bustling about their daily routines. A crisp winter day, the sky a clear blue, offering no hint of the impending disaster. People went about their routines unaware that above them, a tragedy was about to unfold. Then it happened, shattering the calm. A deafening roar split the peaceful afternoon, a sound that would haunt the city for days to come. Smoke billowed in the distance, a dark column against the bright sky, signaling the severity of the situation. A plane, a commercial airliner, was down in the Potomac River, its wreckage a stark reminder of the fragility of life. The news spread like wildfire. Panic gripped the city as people tried to make sense of the catastrophe. First responders raced towards the scene, sirens wailing, a symphony of urgency and determination to save lives. Families glued to their televisions watched in horror as the unfolding disaster revealed itself, their hearts heavy with fear. This wasn't just another news story. It was a moment that would be etched in the collective memory of the nation. This was a nightmare come to life, a tragic event that would forever change the lives of those involved. Collision course seconds that changed everything. In the blink of an eye, lives were altered forever. Flight 342, bound for Los Angeles, had just taken off from Reagan National Airport. The skies were clear and everything seemed routine. Suddenly, a smaller, private aircraft veered into its path. The pilots had no time to react. It was a catastrophic collision. The impact was immediate and devastating. Eyewitnesses described the smaller plane clipping the airliner's wing, sending it into a terrifying spiral. Panic spread among those who saw it unfold. Metal shrieked, engines sputtered, and then the horrifying splash as the larger plane slammed into the icy waters of the Potomac. On board, chaos reigned. The serene river turned into a scene of horror. Screams filled the cabin as the plane plummeted towards the water. Fear and confusion gripped everyone. The impact was violent, throwing passengers against the ceiling and ripping at the fuselage. The force was unimaginable. Water rushed in, cold and unforgiving. The freezing temperatures added to the terror. For those who survived the initial impact, a desperate fight for survival began. They battled the elements, clinging to life in the frigid waters. Race against time, the frantic search for survivors. Time was the enemy. Every second counted as rescue boats battled the current, racing towards the sinking wreckage. Divers plunged into the frigid waters, visibility near zero. The Coast Guard, aided by civilian volunteers, formed a human chain, searching desperately for any sign of life. On the riverbank, a makeshift triage center took shape. Medics worked tirelessly, tending to the injured, their faces grim as they assessed the human cost of the disaster. Ambulances screamed away, carrying survivors to nearby hospitals, each siren a fragile echo of hope amidst the devastation. Voices of authority, official statements, and initial findings. As the sun began to set, casting long shadows over the scene, officials held press conferences. The FAA promised a full investigation. The NTSB vowed to leave no stone unturned in their pursuit of answers. From the White House came words of condolence and a pledge of support for the victims and their families. But amidst the official statements, questions lingered. How could this happen in one of the most secure airspaces in the world? Was it mechanical failure, human error, or something more sinister? The answers for now remained elusive, lost somewhere in the wreckage at the bottom of the Potomac. Aftermath and reflection, grief, questions, and the long road ahead. As darkness fell, the search continued. The relentless efforts of the emergency workers, driven by hope and duty, painted a poignant picture against the night sky. Floodlights illuminated the river, casting an eerie glow over the recovery efforts. The scene was both haunting and hopeful, as rescuers worked tirelessly through the night. The nation mourned, united in grief and disbelief. Communities came together, sharing their sorrow and offering support to one another in this time of profound loss. The images of the crash, the stories of heroism and loss would forever be etched in the collective memory. Each photograph, each flower, a testament to lives lost and the bravery shown. The investigation into the crash will be long and complex. Experts will meticulously piece together evidence, seeking to understand what went wrong and how such tragedies can be prevented in the future. It will raise uncomfortable questions about aviation safety, air traffic control procedures, and the human cost of failure. These discussions, though difficult, are necessary to ensure safer skies. But amidst the grief and the search for answers, one thing is clear. The victims of this tragedy will not be forgotten. Their stories will be told, their memories cherished. Their memories will live on, a reminder of the fragility of life and the importance of cherishing every moment. In their honor, we strive to make the world a safer place.